If you've only met Antonio White once, or like many of us Golden Gate Breakfast Club members, known him for years and appreciate his leadership and contribution to our club, you know he is a colorful character. A second-generation San Franciscan, a 30-year Silicon Valley marketing launch professional who specializes in pitching highly advanced new technologies to key early customers. The author of the book, Close With Your Open, the Pitchfreak Guide to 10-second pitches that sell. A host of the popular Clubhouse app room, the Pitchfreak 10-second pitch challenge. It might interest you to know that this Friday is his 183rd episode. My friends on tell me that is a really big deal on Clubhouse. Since March 2022, less than 1 year, Antonio has trained over 14,000 eager students in all walks of life to use his 3-step winning pitch framework. His goal is to help entrepreneurs and startup founders be more effective and successful by mastering, guess what? The 10-second pitch. We're about to benefit from Antonio's research. Antonio's invested the past year in learning how AI applications could impact his business. He has become concerned for writers, trainers, and communicators in all areas. Perhaps you've noticed social media is running rampant with stories of doom, as well as easy riches relating to artificial intelligence applications such as ChatGPT. In the speaking world, every newsletter, every meeting, we talk about it. We've invited Antonio to simplify the complexity and present his perspective on the reality for professional communicators for now and looking forward in the next year. Join me in a warm welcome to our past Golden Gate Breakfast Club president, the pitch freak, Antonio White.
Yeah, Antonio. Antonio, wake up.
What's going on? What's happening? Did I miss it? What's happening? What's happening?
You missed my part about being attentive. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
What's going on? Okay, who's speaking today? I can't wait. I'm really excited to hear today's presentation. Who's speaking today?
You are.
What? Are you kidding me?
No one.
I'm speaking. Oh crap! I totally forgot. Hold on one second. Give me a second. Jeez. Okay, hold on one second. I got here. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on 1 second. Oh my God! I cannot even believe this. I didn't prepare anything. What the heck am I going to do? This is so embarrassing. Patricia Fripp did a beautiful presentation. She worked so hard on that. Everybody's expecting somebody to do something professional. Oh my gosh, what's going on here? I have no time to prepare whatsoever. Okay, let me see here. What can I do? What can I do here? Okay, let's do this here. We'll move over here. We'll move over here. Throw on some lights. We'll move over here. Oh, wonderful. Hello, everybody. Hello, Breakfast Clubbers. It might seem that I prepared forever for this presentation today. I certainly want to assure you here that of course I didn't leave this presentation to the last minute. There's no possible way. There's no possible way. I want to thank you for the opportunity to present to you today. I want to tell you how much I appreciate you. I want to give a very special thank you to my wonderful mentor, Patricia Fripp. And what is the purpose of all this morning? The purpose of all of this morning is to show you the power of new technology and its ability to help anybody become a more effective communicator. I'm going to give you 3 tips and 3 warnings about AI and ChatGPT And I'm literally doing this presentation on the fly. There is nothing in a canned PowerPoint. There is nothing behind the scenes. The only thing behind the scenes was a bit of that gag here with Craig. And that's it. You could literally wake up and create a presentation that's meaningful and impactful by applying what I'm going to show you today, and I'm not going to hold anything back. So if you're interested and excited about learning about the latest technology called ChatGPT and OpenAI, I'm going to show you several presentations here. But before I do, let me just get a sense from the audience. Would you like me to blow your mind now, or do you want me to wait until the end of the presentation? Who would like to actually get started right now? Mind blown right away. Anybody interested? Anybody interested? Okay, terrific. Terrific. Very good. Very good. Let me think about who is the biggest skeptic on with regards to this kind of thing. I think Alan Garber, my pal Alan Garber. Alan, are you there? I see Alan right there. Alan.
I'm here.
Alan, my pal Alan. Would you be open here for a good-natured piece of fun, Alan, that will never be anything negative, never disparaging here, a little piece of fun? Would you mind volunteering for a little bit of fun?
Well, for you, Antonio, anything.
Okay, terrific. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do.
Be careful, though.
Of course, Alan. So I have right here behind me ChatGPT. This is the application ChatGPT for those of you who are unaware of this application here. And ChatGPT is using machine learning and based upon a language model that helps you to create content, written dialogue, any number of things in different kinds of formats that allows you to be able to accelerate the development of that content here through this technology. So what I want to do, Alan, so we're going to do a fun little test here. So the test here is, we'll go back to Alan here real quick. Alan, question for you. A couple things, and let's do it like this. Let's make sure I've got all my notes correct here on this. Let's do this here. Oh, let's see here. Can I do this? Yes, possibly yes. And boom, over here. Boom.
I thought you did this on the fly.
Here we do. I am doing it on the fly, literally doing it on the fly. All right, so Alan, I want you to write down for me. You live in Sonoma, correct?
That's true.
Okay, fantastic. So Sonoma. All right, great. And we'll just put here, Alan G. Perfect. All right, Alan, what is your favorite? Do you like country music?
Yes.
You like rock and roll music?
Yes.
Are you a fan maybe of Grateful Dead?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Would it be a group that you really like? Grateful Dead?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Grateful Dead. All right, terrific. All right, and Alan, do you have a favorite beverage?
Yes.
Does it have 4 letters in it? Maybe starts with a W.
I have more than one favorite beverage.
Is there a beverage that you enjoy that very much that starts with a W?
Of course, you know that.
You can pick a different one if you like. It doesn't matter.
Well,
I'm not trying to lead you.
I'm in Sonoma, wine country.
Okay, fantastic. All right, wine. Terrific. All right, fantastic. So here's what I'm going to do. We've got Alan Garber, Sonoma. Oh, by the way, what's your profession, Alan?
Attorney.
Attorney.
Lawyer.
Fantastic. Attorney. And what area of the law do you focus on?
Labor relations.
Labor relations. Labor relations. Ladies and gentlemen, I assure you, in the history of the universe, what you're about to see has never been seen before in the history of the universe. How many people are excited to see what I do with this information? A show of hands. Fantastic. Allow me, if you will, to take this opportunity here to say thank you to Patricia once again. And we're now going to go to ChatGPT. And in ChatGPT, I'm going to ask ChatGPT, please write a poem about Alan Garber, attorney who lives in Sonoma. Loves the Grateful Dead. Practices labor law. Labor relations. Sorry, let me get that right. Labor relations. And loves wine and loves wine. Okay. All right, that's it. You guys are seeing this happening in real time. Let's see what we can do with this presentation. Clicking a button. Let's see what ChatGPT can do. We'll wait just a moment. Give it a moment. Alan Garber, eternally true. In Sonoma, where skies are blue. Loves the Grateful Dead, it said, and labor relations too. Wine is his passion, rich and bold, from vineyards that surround. He sips and savors, young and old, with friends and family found. With knowledge deep and heart so pure, he fights for workers' rights, and in his leisure he'll endure the Grateful Dead's delights. So raise a glass for Alan Garber, a man of many parts. May he always find a way to stir the music in our hearts. Alan Garber, thank you for inspiring that work of art.
Are you going to send that to me?
I'm happy to do so. I'm happy to do so.
Send it to me.
Thanks, Al, for that. Alan, did we plan on this ahead of time? Do we have some secret thing that we did behind the scenes?
Yes, we met all weekend in Texas.
Alan, as somebody here who thinks critically about the world and does not let things go by without scrutiny here, what do you think of that presentation here that I just did?
I think it's fantastic. I didn't know about that. I knew about OpenAI, but not about this one.
Right. And so this is the point. This is the point. OpenAI does not have to be scary. It is scary, by the way, but it doesn't have to be scary. This is a fun exercise, and we literally did this on the fly. This is how, now remember, think about this for a moment. If I gave you the same level of information, how quickly would you be able to come up with a poem as interesting and connected as we just did? This is the power of the machine learning language. It allows to create meaningful contextual connections between data leveraged on thousands and thousands and millions and billions of data of assets and trillions, quite frankly. So ChatGPT 3, OpenAI, ChatGPT, Jasper, other types of applications here are really a tool. They are meant to be a tool to help professionals accelerate their ability to develop complicated ideas and make them simple. Here's the challenge. Lots of people are looking at ChatGPT and saying, my job is going to be gone. You're going to replace me with a robot. You're going to take away my ability to make a living. Let me assure you, I've been trying to put myself out of business with ChatGPT and AI for the past year. It's not happening yet. There's still a need for the Pitchfreak. There's still a need for Alan Garber. There's still a need for Patricia Fripp. There's still a need for all of you. Why am I saying this? I'm not saying it in general terms. You are all experts in your area. You all have decades of experience in your area. Decades. Gary McKenzie, 50 plus years in finance. Gary McKenzie went through a training program with me, and at the end of that, he took his 50 plus years of experience as a financial perspective and boiled it down into one key concept. And through a series of months and months on together on a call, boiled it down to one key concept, which is he is the prince of pricing. The prince of pricing models. If you have a challenge with regards to your ability to drive meaningful profits, the most likely problem that you're facing is that you're not charging enough. How can you figure out a way to charge enough to make a living so you can take care of your and your family here and provide amazing customer service? Gary McKenzie is your guy. He spent his whole lifetime figuring it out. Not only has he done that, he's pushed a $4 billion a year, $4 billion deal through Congress. He's the $4 billion man. How quickly were we able to get a sense of who Gary McKenzie is? That's because we leverage my specific Pitchfreaks level frameworks. I have two. One is my 3-step winning pitch framework, which is in my book, Close with the Open, Pitchfreaks Guide, available at Amazon, and my 10-step pitch market match framework, which is a deep dive framework to help people come up with a logical solution based upon their skill sets and a need in the marketplace. Okay, that being said, why is that a big deal? Because anybody right now could use ChatGPT. You saw how complicated it was. You don't need to be a programmer. You don't need to be a genius. You don't need to have special skill sets. All you need to be able to do is type in as you would communicate with anybody and ask it a question and put in some variables. And you just saw an example of doing that. By the way, because it's so simple, many people might apply this technology and present themselves as experts. This is a big problem. I want to offer you 3 key warnings with ChatGPT, OpenAI, and the like. Number 1, you cannot trust it to tell the truth. You have to do due diligence on everything that you use within ChatGPT. You must. Number two, it makes things up. It makes things up to fill in blanks of knowledge that's not familiar with. And three, you cannot pass it off as your own. There is no originality. It is not copyright protected, and nobody is going to back you up if you throw in and say, write me a book about X and try to pass it off as your own. By the way, anybody else who types in the same general parameters as you is going to get the same general results. It may be a little bit different. Maybe if you typed in the same parameters that I did in ChatGPT, it might give you a little variation on the poem that we just did, right? But you cannot pass these things off as your own. 3 warnings. The good news is this: as experts, just as I have a 3-step system to create a 10-second pitch, a winning 3-step, my winning 3-step winning pitch framework, my 10-step pitch market match framework. These are frameworks. These are conceptual models that I use and apply to customers. Just as Alan uses a conceptual model when he's building a case. He's interviewing people, he's getting insights, he's putting dots together, he's connecting the dots, he's coming up with an argument. Same thing that Susan Royan does when he's creating a book. Right? Same thing that Betty does when she's working on how to pitch a client, or how to connect them with the proper property that's perfect for them. Or John Mathers when he's trying to establish a rapport with an audience to compel them about climate change. You can leverage ChatGPT to get deeper insights about your audience. You can use ChatGPT to make an interesting, engaging introduction that immediately connects emotionally and viscerally. Here's the problem. ChatGPT is not going to figure out the Pitchfreak should start his presentation pretending he's asleep. Pitchfreak would not figure out to have a deal with Craig ahead of time to wake him up so that we have a fun way to start the conversation. Right? ChatGPT's not thinking that up. Okay, that still requires a bit of creativity and experience and a deep knowledge of your audience. So Patricia Fripp ends the presentation that she worked so hard on, seeing Antonio White snoring in the back channel. What the hell is this network doing? Right? Right? And hopefully, Patricia, you saw an introduction here worthy of the Pitchfreak, having fun right off the bat. These are types of things. Now, if your audience is more serious, of course, I would never do something like that. Or maybe I would, you don't know. Leveraging ChatGPT to have a deeper understanding of your audience is so vital. Leveraging ChatGPT is an easy way to see commonalities that people have with regards to disparate viewpoints. So let's take a quick idea of what we can do with ChatGPT here, and let's offer a couple examples here for you. And let's just show you, it's nothing like showing you in action what this application does. Let's take this idea that we came up with, Alan, and I want to create a PowerPoint. Give me a book introduction. Hey, Susan Rowan, what's a great publisher that we should send this new book idea to, Susan Rowan?
HarperCollins.
To HarperCollins, based upon the amazing song we wrote about our pal, Alan Garber. Okay, boom. All right, book introduction. Okay, let me just make sure that I go right. Let me just see, right? A compelling. All right, very good. Let's see what ChatGPT says about this. We'll give it a moment. Susan Rowan, how long does it take on average to write a really great book introduction to HarperCollins, would you say, roughly? Half hour,
It could
15 minutes?
3 weeks to 6 to 8 months.
3 weeks to 6 to 8 months. Wait, let's get started, because ChatGPT is already getting ready. Meet Alan Garber, a man of many passions and talents, a respected labor attorney in the idyllic town of Sonoma. Alan's dedication for fighting for workers' rights is matched only by his love for the Grateful Dead and his fine wine. In this captivating book, we delve into the life of Alan Garber, a man who has lived a life full of passion, dedication and purpose, from his early days growing up in Sonoma, which is a lie, to his rise as a prominent labor attorney, his never-ending love for the Grateful Dead and wine. Through personal anecdotes and interviews with those who know him best, we paint a vivid picture of a man who is not only successful in his profession, but also a true lover of life. From the courtroom to the vineyards, Alan Garber's story is one of a true Renaissance man who finds joy in all aspects of life. With its unique blend of legal, music, and oenological perspectives, this book is a must-read for anyone looking to be inspired by a life well lived. Join us as we explore the life and passions of Alan Garber, a true friend to all and a testament to the power of following one's dreams. Let me ask the amazing, incredible Susan Royan, and be frank with me. What grade would you give that as an introduction for a potential book about Alan Garber?
I think that's about a B+.
I want to meet that guy.
It's an honor to have him in our club. I mean, that's pretty astounding.
Right? This is my
I don't think I've met the author of that book.
It's definitely not an autobiography.
This is my point.
It's fiction. It's fiction.
It's fiction. Alan, did you grow up in Sonoma? I think you're in the East Coast, right?
Yes.
Right. So look, but Alan, with a few little twists here, a very few, is that a passable introduction? You decide yourself, Alan.
Passable.
Passable, right? And so
yes.
Alan is an expert in the language.
But it would need editing. It would need editing. It would need editing.
Exactly right. How quickly did we create this document? We put in a sentence. Write a compelling book introduction to HarperCollins based upon the amazing song we wrote about our pal Alan Garber. There's something that you might not have noticed. It understood the context of the statement that came before it. That's a big deal. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. Let's find out. Let's see if we can push ChatGPT to do one thing. Let's see. Let us see if we can get, let's see. What is Alan? What is a beverage? What is a beverage that Alan Garber likes? Oops, likes. Okay. What is a beverage that Alan Garber likes? If you went into Google, what would you get? A bunch of nothing, right? But how smart is ChatGPT? And by the way, I'm not selling you on ChatGPT. I'm testing it just like you guys. So I have no dog in this race, right? Let's see what ChatGPT has to say. Let me click the button. What is a beverage Alan Garber likes? Alan Garber is described as a lover of wine. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Alan Garber is described as a lover of wine. It could have said anything. It understands the context of everything that came before it. This is how it learns. This is also how you can program it to think like you. Tell it some jokes that you like. Explain your theory about XYZ, and then ask it a question based upon that theory. This is big stuff, you guys. How big, you might ask? Normally, I charge $50,000 to come up with a pitch. And it takes me about 3 months to do it. And for those of you who remember Jacqueline Carpenter from Ideal Restoration, back in the days, 2010, and this is recorded and she's free for me to tell the story. She told me it's okay to tell the story. She did it on video for me. In 2010, Jacqueline Carpenter was losing $143,000 a month in the red. Her family business, created by her father, Butch Carpenter, a Marine vet who started the business after Vietnam, coming back from Vietnam as a carpet cleaning business and built it up to a multi-million-dollar business. By 2010, because of the economic collapse and because of failing health with Butch, the company was hemorrhaging money. Jacqueline Carpenter brought me in because we met through the Execs Association, and she asked me, Antonio, can you create a brochure for me? I need a brochure for my business. Okay. I went in and talked with Jacqueline Carpenter, and I realized she does not need a brochure. She needs a quadruple bypass for this business, right? and so I explained this to her. By the way, ChatGPT would simply just give her a brochure. Okay, no problem. Here's a brochure, right? Anthony White says, no, big problems here. That's right. So I explained to her the big challenge that was facing. 3 weeks solid together on a whiteboard, the two of us. I spent more time with Jacqueline Carpenter than my own wife for 3 weeks trying to figure out a way to save this business. We had giant whiteboards filled to capacity with ink, figuring out all the different ways that we can apply the marketing concept, a strategy concept, a sales concept, an offering concept, a go-to-market strategy, all these various things, include the financials, all the variables, everything. 40 people's lives were at stake. A family legacy was at stake. In 3 months, we had the plan. In 3 months, we had the plan. And then it took another couple of weeks to put together a presentation, and then we gave it to her dad and she was the CEO. She didn't need permission from anybody. We presented it at a Christmas event to the entire staff, the new ideal restoration. So from there, it took us the rest of the year to execute, and Jacqueline told me by the end of the year, she was profitable, simply by applying the frameworks that I gave her based upon the 25 years before that I was doing my work. We changed everything about how many offers she made to different groups, her geographical region, the uniforms that the company was using at the time, every single detail, nothing was let, her advertising campaign, how they answered the phone, the colors of every single detail was accounted for in this new strategy. In 12 months, she went from -143 to profit, regularly afterwards generating multi-million-dollar returns for her business. She claims in the same video that is a result of the work that I did with her in 2010, she's earned at least $30 to $40 million attributable to what we did way back then. I can do that exact same thing now in a day, automatically. Ask the same level of questions, go through the same level of framework. I could save at least 3 months of time in a day applying my frameworks with ChatGPT, OpenAI, and other AI applications. So what does this mean? It means that my unique skill set and experience in what I'm doing is beneficial to me and provides me advantage because I can do what I can do now faster. So now instead of having to charge $50,000 or $25,000 or $250,000 for doing a whole year with me, instead, I can do all of that for $2,000 right now. And I'm testing it out and it's already working. And I get within 80%, 80 to 90% of what would normally take me 3 months to do. Is it perfect? No. Does it need addressing? Yes. Does it require editing and fine tuning? So for sure. Yes. You guys saw some examples of that, right? You have to do due diligence. You have to run it through your critical eye. All these things are so vital and important for you as you're going through this process. All right. So I'm hoping that this gives you a couple things. Number one, it's easy to use. Number two, it's fun to use and you should try it. Number three, you can use it as a tool for your business. Just simply do not pass off the work that you do in this using this application as your own, unless you are challenged to work through your own framework of thinking and concepts. We're at 8:31 right now. We can end on time. I think you saw everything that I have here. For professional communicators, this is a vital tool for you to be using. Embrace it. Don't be afraid of it here. I hope you had fun today. It's a great pleasure to be of service to share this with you here. I hope you enjoyed the experience. I can take a few questions if you like.
Great, thank you.
Antonio, I have a question. I have read recently that students in college or high school or whatever are using this to write their whatever, the paper, the thesis, the whatnot. How does the teacher know that this is done by somebody else and not by Ricky?
I've heard that too. I've heard that too.
Great question, Ricky. So right now, there's already documented evidence of people trying to use this to test, to cheat in exams and papers and so on. And by the way, testing this in a scientific area here, it can pass medical exams, it can pass the bar in certain cases. I mean, this is serious stuff that we're talking about here. So there's already underway, as you can imagine, AI applications that are designed to determine if somebody is cheating. And there are AI applications that can determine if you're actually using AI and passing it off as your own. So this is an area fraught with challenges, a lot of discussions and issues in place here as far as what is content, who owns content, what is yours, what is original thinking. There's a lot of discussions here, and I can do another conversation about this if you like with all the other things, because think about it like this. And you guys saw the presentation, many of you saw the presentation that I did regarding face replacement on movies and so on, right? Imagine a completely synthetic person leveraging AI. There's synthetic voice, there's synthetic humans, all digital, AI. So right now you see chats, little chat bots on your computer. We used to have customer service over the phone. Now that customer service is happening in a little text file. Now that text file, more likely than not, is simply a robot, a ChatGPT like robot sending you information that's most likely going to fit your particular need. Eventually, that little robot, that little text box is going to look like a person. And it's going to speak to you in natural language, in whatever language you want, And so for you, the challenge here is how to discern reality from a synthetic perspective, right? Here's my hope for all of you here on the call. Whatever you're doing right now that you're known for, double and triple and quadruple now on getting your framework together for how you think about the world. What is it that you do? What's the one thing that you do that you've committed your life to, that you understand deeply and meaningfully better than anybody else, and you uniquely address these issues to solve a meaningful challenge? Double and triple down on getting that framework together. Walk yourself through your own process. Walk yourself through a complicated framework. Take a giant whiteboard, whatever you need to do. How do you think about the world? How do you specifically go through solving problems? And I assure you that framework, as you improve it over time here, it's going to be valuable for you, because people will come to you to understand your framework. Everybody can get, you can't trust ChatGPT, but I can trust Alan Garber. I can trust Gary McKinsey. I can trust Patricia Fitt. I can trust Bill Buchanan. So ultimately, your reputation will be the thing that saves your rump when it comes to the onslaught of people claiming to be experts with no brand, no reputation, with no meaningful skill set, with no personal connections. Your network, your skill set, and your reputation is now more meaningful than ever. Guard it with your life.
All right, we
Great,
got three
great stuff,
questions.
Antonio. Thank you, man. You've come a fur piece from Visime. I'm proud of you.
Love you, baby. Love you, Rick.
All right, we've got three questions. Anastasia, followed by Alan Garber, and then Rich Correa. Don't forget
Okay,
to.
sorry, I'm turning off my sat lamp. You know, I live in Oregon now. So, Antonio, that was amazing. It was really amazing. My first question was already answered, because that was one thing that I wanted to know about. Two questions. One is I just want to understand how we get it, like how we actually tangibly, if I want to use ChatGPT, how I can do what you're doing. That's one question. The second one, I wonder, how that, I don't understand all this, but when you start talking about something, Big Brother, our phones, everything is listening, and then all of a sudden ads start popping up because I was talking about hula hooping or something. And when you were first doing your demonstration, I actually thought you weren't going to type that in. I thought that the ChatGPT was listening to you having this conversation with us and was going to do that automatically. Is that already happening as well? Is that tied into ChatGPT, that it's picking things up out there and creating content, stories, etc., about all of us as we're just going about living our daily lives? Or is that maybe the next iteration? Because this is scary stuff to me, to have this kind of power just through you typing things in, but I know it's also what it hears. So would love your opinion on that.
Yeah, I'm not qualified to talk about that. The challenge here is that these are social impacts that are addressed this here. There are societal impacts that are addressed here. There's technology, there's privacy things, all kinds of things. That is for another conversation. Today's focus really is about, is this a tool that professional communicators should be embracing or avoiding? And my answer to you is, if you plan on being in business for the next 5 or 10 years, you better buckle up and start learning how to use it. And by the way, OpenAI and ChatGPT is not the only one. ChatGPT. There's many others that are going to be coming online, including Google is not going to allow Microsoft and OpenAI to simply go without competition, right? And so if you are making presentations, if you're writing books, leverage this as a tool and scrutinize it as you would The people who are going to be hurt the most are virtual assistants. The people who are going to be hurt the most are people here who are not up to snuff in offering you value and creating reports, research, and insights. People that you would probably want to get rid of anyway because they're not delivering as they should, right? And so the challenge here is for you not to replace highly qualified people. I think highly qualified people are going to be in demand because you have frameworks. You have what ChatGPT calls prompts, inputs that you use to filter information. Very vital, very vital. ChatGPT cannot create a Pitchfreak's 10-second pitch yet. It can give you a 10-second pitch, but not leveraging the Pitchfreak's framework. And there's a lot of mistakes. For instance, in my 3-step winning pitch framework, you have to articulate your value from your prospect's perspective. You have to connect emotionally through a joy or relief statement. And then you need an invitation or gentle call to action, just like you invite a friend or loved one for a cup of coffee or a slice of chocolate cake. I asked ChatGPT to give me a 30-word pitch, which is 10-second pitch, a 30-word pitch, right? That's compelling to a Silicon Valley investor. Of the 3 pitches that it gave me, not a single one had a call to action. And I know through evidence that if you don't have the call to action, no action will be taken. Literally since, and Patricia communicated, right? Over a past year, I've been studying this like a freak. Like a freak, I've been studying. 14,000 people I've trained over the past year on this process. Just the 3-step winning pitch framework. 800 people have actually tried to pass the Pitchfreak. Only in the past year, at the end of 2022, only 14 people were able to pass the Pitchfreak. And this is after free training for over a year, walking them through the process every single day, day after day since March. This is the distinction between what I know about pitching. And by the way, when I'm done with somebody, I guarantee they get instant interest and engagement from qualified prospects, right? So it's hard. It's hard to pass me. Already it's hard to pass me. And I'm looking at ChatGPT. What can I do with ChatGPT to help more people pass the Pitchfreak? Because I want everybody to pass. I don't want it to be some exclusive thing. And so one thing that everybody can do on this call is you can type up in your document of choice, your word processor document of choice, 500 words about an upcoming presentation that you have in mind. Go to ChatGPT and say, summarize this in 50 words or less and make it attractive to an audience of military veterans or school administrators or C-level executives. And ChatGPT will take your 500-word document and consolidate into 50 words or less and design that and craft that to be attractive to a particular audience. You can do that right now. How much time do you think that would save you on this call? By the way, if you think that you might be able to save time using this process, here, let's show of hands. Who thinks they might be able to save some time going through just the conceptual parts of what they're doing? Right. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, but how do I get it? How do I start using it?
I just threw in the chat. Chat.openai.com.
I'm so caught up watching you and not looking in the chat. Thank you.
You bet.
All right, Alan Garber, followed by Patricia Fripp, and then Lauren Ward.
Alan.
Antonio,
Yes, sir.
great presentation.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you for allowing me to be your guinea pig again.
Thank you.
No problem. A couple of things. One, ChatGPT, to get on that, is it chatgpt.com or what? And what exactly does the GBT stand
GPT,
for?
sorry, my pronunciation, GPT.
Oh, George
Okay,
Paul
what is that?
Thomas. George Paul Thomas.
Right.
What does that stand for?
Let's find out from ChatGPT.
Somebody put it in the chat earlier.
And my
I've got it
other
in the chat up above.
Right. Yeah. So
I didn't
what
understand it.
ChatGPT says here, and I forgot what the heck the thing is it stands for it's a language model developed by OpenAI. It uses deep learning techniques to generate human-like based. So basically, I think it's a generational something transform. I forgot what the P is.
Anastasia says chat generative pre-trained transformer.
There you go.
okay.
Yes,
And the
Now,
pre-training part is the language models. And what is a language model? A language model is simply words, sentences, statements within context.
my other comment is I'm wondering how this would be applied in writing a legal brief that you would send to the court because there's a lot of research that needs to be done before you can actually write a brief and have to have citations and everything. Do you know if this has been, if this new technology is going to be useful for that yet, or how that was?
Well,
Give me
test
an
it.
idea of the simplest, I mean, the simplest possible kind of legal brief that you can think of, and let's test it right now together. What would be an example of just give me like something like a no-brainer that any paralegal first year graduate could do.
Well, let's say, let's just say that, what is the statute of limitations of Labor Code section 1194.5?
One more time, of what's that? What's the thing again?
Statute of limitations for a Labor Code violation on retaliation.
Okay.
How's that?
Violation on okay, great. Let's all look at it.
Put in California Labor Code violation.
Oh, California. Okay, great. Very good. Let's do that.
And we're spotlighting Antonio, so everybody should be able to see it on the screen.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. I'm curious how many people are interested to see what ChatGPT comes up with for this. Let's see what we come up with. This could be challenging. This should be challenging, right? Let's see. And then I have a hard out at 8:55. I have to run to another session here. But let's see. It's taking a moment. I'm sorry, but as a language model, I'm not able to access legal documents or case law. I'm not able to cite the specific statutes or cases. Okay, not a problem. However, let me show you something else. Let's stop generating. Oh, hold. It says it can't do this. However, let me give you some general information on the topic. In California, an employee who has been retaliated against for reporting a labor code violation has a limited time in which to file a complaint with the labor commissioner to file a lawsuit. The statute of limitations for filing a complaint with the labor commissioner lawsuit, the statute of limitations is 1 year from the date of the alleged retaliation. It's important to note that the statutes of limitation may vary depending upon specific labor code violations being alleged in specific circumstances of the case. Therefore, it's crucial to consult with an attorney with experience in California labor law to determine the appropriate course of action and to ensure that the complaint lawsuit is filed within statute of limitations. Let's do one thing here. Let me show you one other little area if I can. Let's do this. If I can. This is OpenAI. I'm sorry, this is OpenAI, and this is the playground for OpenAI. And so what I'm doing here is I'm asking OpenAI, which is an insider element for ChatGPT. It's a bit of a different approach, but ChatGPT is based upon this. I'm asking OpenAI the same exact question. And this is a whole different discussion, but let's just test and see what OpenAI can do. Factual background. This legal brief is presented in the case of Doe versus ABC Corporation, in which John Doe has brought a claim against ABC Corporation, ABC, alleging that he was wrongfully terminated in retaliation for making a complaint to his employer regarding workplace safety violations. Legal issue. The question before this court is whether the statute of limitations for a labor code violation is retaliation in the state of California. Legal analysis. In the state of California, Labor Code section 98.6 provides that any action for damages based upon retaliation must be brought within 3 years of the date of the act of retaliation occurred. California Labor Code 98.6, the statute of limitations is told within the injured party does not have the knowledge of the act or when the employer has concealed the act, ID. In Doe versus ABC, the act of retaliation occurred when Doe was terminated from his job in retaliation for complaining about workplace safety violations. This occurred on June 7th, 2020. Therefore, John Doe has until June 7th, 2023 to bring a claim up for damages based upon retaliation against ABC under California Labor Code section 98.6. Alan Garber, what say ye?
Well, it's basically accurate, but there are also other labor code sections that could be applied, which have different statute of limitations than 98.6. So
if I'm just getting out of law school and you had me draft this thing for you, would you have me fired instantly here, or would I live to fight another day?
You'd live to find another day, but I would tell you to get off of the chat AI and go do your own research.
Right. Perfect. Now we can go, if I had more time, you and I together could go through multiple different things and come up with a document based upon your assessment of what's involved, and then draft another brief with those deeper level of documents within context and accelerate that process. That's what I mean by Alan has a deeper insight about how to attack this challenge versus just going to ChatGPT by itself. So I
Okay.
hope that helps. You got a little extra insight that I wasn't planning to do here, going into the playground for OpenAI, which is a paid for product, by the way. ChatGPT is free for everyone. And by the way, this is getting smarter and faster and more consolidated. So remember, today more than ever, your reputation is everything. Do everything you can to build your reputation for doing a specific thing that very few people can compete with here. Document your framework, document your approach, document your sources. How did you come up with your idea? What are the basis for your assessments? How did you come to your conclusions? These are things that ChatGPT will not offer you. Source the idea of XYZ's perspective or opinion. It won't do it. Experts say, surveys say, a preponderance of data assures. These are things where ChatGPT is weak, right? Now, it can give you citations on certain things, but your job now is to make sure that you're doing the due diligence. So will it completely save you from having to do anything anymore? No. Can it save you incredible amounts of time? The answer is, you saw it right here. You can have fun with it, you can use it for work, and you can use it to explore whatever you want to be doing to help you lift society, lift your community, lift your industry, and deepen and burnish your authority in the space where you feel is important. I have to go. I want to say how much I appreciate you all. Thank you so very much here. We can do more of these on the visual side of this, on other kinds of issues down the road if you like here, but I just want to say how much I appreciate y'all.